I have to say, I think this is amazing. Like a
Oh,
lot of people
thank
don't
you.
understand, but like the platform that even Max gave you as a father to speak to people and put people on the knowledge, I think is just amazing. You feel me? Because a lot of the younger people don't get a older figure, a OG, as I would say, to give them knowledge, and I think that's important for our young community growing up. So I wanted to just come
Thank
in
you.
here and get a little bit of knowledge because I'm 27 and I want to pick the brain of somebody who's been there, done that as a young black or as a young African American man in the United States.
You can say
It's
black. That's all
different for
right. You can
us.
say black. It's all
I
good.
feel it.
Okay.
As a young black man in America, I just want a little
Okay.
bit of knowledge. I'm 27 this year. I wanted to
Oh,
know if you had any advice for somebody who's 27, who's going on 27, looking to the future. What's some advice that you have for somebody my age?
well, you're a streamer, right? You stream
I'm a content creator.
content. Oh, yeah, that's right. Content creator. Um, do you like? I mean, do you like what you do?
I love it. I love being able to talk to people, meet people. Even
Hmm.
just this situation itself is something that wouldn't be possible if I wasn't a content creator. So I love
Right,
this.
right. But it's a grind, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It takes a lot.
It takes a lot. Yeah. So how do you balance it out? How do you balance content creating
If
with
I'm
just
being
other stuff?
honest, I feel
Yeah, be
like
honest.
as a content creator in the recent time, I've kind of balanced it terribly because there's that desire to push and grow and do more and be a better version of yourself. But I feel like for necessarily balance sake, you need to step away from it sometimes. You
Right.
need to be able to separate yourself from what you're currently doing to be able to see the whole picture and still be a content creator, but also be like grounded in the thing that you're going through, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Right. But I think that one of the things with the grind, you I don't know if you have to neglect other stuff, but like, and I wouldn't say relationships are the end all be all, but that there gives a time where you'll have to decide when you want to do that, and then
Oh, absolutely.
you have to make sure you have that right balance.
Hmm.
And I think also I would and you have to have a plan. I would assume you have a plan as far as because I don't think you'll be doing this when you're 37,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so
I mean,
you'll still be a young man at 37.
that's okay, and I'm glad that you said that because being 27, they're already treating me like I'm 40.
Who's they?
So the internet, the
Oh, the
people
internet.
that the viewers, the people
Oh,
that
okay.
are consuming the content that I create, they treat me like I'm 37, 47.
Hmm.
And as a 27-year-old, because the internet's very young and it's very like early stages and people are like 14, 15, 16, they
Uh
call
huh.
me unk. So it's starting to get like mentally draining because now I'm looking at myself as older than I really am.
So
But
the
27 is still young.
yeah, so the Gramps thing for me is quite real.
Okay, okay, okay.
You know what I mean?
I
I'm
feel
really
you.
Gramps. They probably the crew. I hope y'all not built the grave. So you know what I mean. But
I
I
feel
guess
you.
maybe because I'm a noob at this. It's refreshing. So they can teach me stuff. So maybe that.
Uh,
But I just think that if you're feeling that way, then you need to have a plan as far as how do you want to have the next setup so you can remain in this.
mm,
Maybe you teach or create create videos that keep going as far as so the young folks know how to do it and do it right.
so that's where my dilemma comes in. I feel like I'm in that limbo where it's like I'm young and I see all the things that young individual content creators are doing, but at the same time, I'm at the age where I understand that this might
Yeah.
not be my space anymore because I'm starting to eclipse that older generation. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, when we went to the awards, when I went to the awards, I mean, there have been folks that have been doing it for 10 years.
Mm,
I was watching a show, and there was a guy. I don't know how old he was, but he was just streaming, driving in Germany. So I think you can keep doing it. It's just a matter of you. I'm sure you'll just have to change up
mm.
and
See,
be,
but the thing I think is like with the way current content creation is going or the direction it's going, I feel like it's staring towards, like, if we're being honest, this is a young man's game. The
Okay.
younger you are, the more energy, the more accessibility you have to the trends and the things that people are understanding. And sometimes, as somebody who's, you know what I mean, closer to that age,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm out of the loop sometimes. Sometimes, and
Mm.
I'm 27. I'm young 27. I haven't even turned 27 yet. I'm 26 still. I'm about to
Uh-huh.
turn 27 months. But I feel like as I'm growing, the community that I've festered, the community that I've built is still on that younger side. So I feel like as a growing man, how is that something that you navigate with younger individuals and letting them know that, hey, I'm on this older side, but I still understand you?
Well, I mean, it's a matter of you may have to recreate yourself, and then those, let's say, the people that have followed you, right? They're young, but they're gonna grow up too. They're not gonna want to keep watching the same thing, and so you may lose some followers in the beginning, but then the people that want to follow you or are loyal, they're growing with you. You got to remember that too. So the folks that you followed you, how long have you been streaming?
2020, 4 years now.
So those 14-year-olds or 15-year-olds, they're like 17, 18.
Mm.
So if they're still, and I don't know the type of content, but if they're still following you, then they're not growing either. So if you want them to grow,
Mm.
you have to grow.
Mm. Okay, okay,
So you
okay.
you grow and they'll grow with you because they'll want to grow too. So it may be. So what's the primary thing that you stream or you create, I should say?
I do a lot of well, I don't want to say therapy because I'm not a therapist, but like advice streams,
Okay.
reactionary streams. And I
Okay.
feel like a lot of the things that younger individuals are going through, I've gone through, so people ask me for advice a lot. But I'm trying to figure out, like, per se, what my next step is
Mm-hmm.
for, like, as a growing streamer, like, as I'm moving past that space that I'm in currently, where it's like, all right, you know what I mean, you do the young thing, the reactions, the lively energy. Like, I'm getting out of that space. So as a 27-year-old, I'm trying to think, like, all right, I'm turning 27 this year. People
Mm-hmm.
are telling me stop streaming, start a family. It's time for you to settle down. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, like, maybe it's time to settle down. Maybe it's time to slow down. What do you think about that? Like, as a 27-year-old, do you think I'm somebody who's in a position that I should be starting to slow down? Or is it like,
No,
yeah, I mean,
no,
you're still
you
young.
should continue to do what you love doing. I mean, slow down. You're only 27. I mean,
Thank you, thank
you
you.
can slow
You would
down
have
at
thought I was old,
you can
man.
slow down at I mean, even at the thing is when you start to get older, you want to experience and enjoy life, right? And so you don't really necessarily want to slow down. You want to slow down to an extent, maybe from a working standpoint, but you want to still do stuff that you enjoy. That's one of the reasons why I'm here in the first place. Because yeah, when I first started, like last week, I guess it'll be 2 weeks. I was like, I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing, but it was just a matter of Max said it was a platform. There was a platform. I had a platform, and it resonated for the few times that I was on and talking to every. So I get to hear music that I normally wouldn't even bother listening to just because some of it is trash. But then I get to share. I get to share stuff,
Share
and
your
so
opinion and your knowledge on the situation.
well, I get to share the music that they don't get to listen, that they wouldn't listen to because their parents listen to it.
Mm.
And so, like I said, and you may decide that, look, I love the therapy thing. I wanna go to school and be a therapist. You could do that too. And the thing is, you have the comfort of. I mean, I don't know, of course, how well you've done, but at least you wouldn't be doing this still if it wasn't good for you. So you could decide that
Minimally
you want to go
successful.
in an entirely different direction, and you won't be strained because of the fact that you've been successful at this, and you'll be confident because you've done it, and now you want to do something else.
Okay. So
So what?
now I have a question. How do you manage career and relationships? Because 27 is a very pivotal year for me. And I feel like it's that year where I decide what's most important to
Why
me
is it pivotal?
as it stands. Because I feel like from 27 here on, I'm getting closer to 30. Like, I
Okay.
have older brothers, and my
Okay.
brother is like 30, 31. He has kids. He's about to get married in like a year and a half or a
Mm-hmm.
year change. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, all right, he's getting married soon. I don't want to be so old that I have kids and like I can't like participate in the things that they do. You feel me? I don't want to be like super old and not
Wait.
be able to go outside and play basketball with my
So here's
kids.
your here's the, this may determine if I hang up on you immediately or not. What do you
Okay,
consider
okay.
super old?
45,
Wow,
50s.
I'm definitely hanging up on you now.
Okay, I apologize, man. Listen, I just feel like at 45,
No, I
50,
mean,
that's not super old,
so
but
the
at the
thing,
same time, I can't do the things I necessarily
well,
want to with my kid.
that's definitely not true. If you work out and you stay young, and if you work out, you'll be fine. 40
Okay,
is
okay,
definitely not old.
okay.
And the thing is, with a relationship, you won't be able to do the other stuff until you find that. It's just not gonna happen like magic. And that right person you're supposed to be aligned with will come when the time is right. So you just keep doing what you do, and then that person, when it's time, you could meet them at the coffee shop or wherever you may go. I mean, unless you have somebody in your life right now.
No, I'm particularly chilling. I'm kind of vibing.
Yeah, yeah.
I have another question about that too.
So you don't.
Um,
That's not necessarily. That's not. You just need to keep living. Don't worry about
okay.
the other stuff. The other stuff will take care of itself in the time it's supposed to.
So now, bouncing off that, a lot of times there's been situations where I've known very great women. I've dealt with very great women, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been wonderful people to me. Great, wholesome, nothing was wrong, but I just wasn't in the position to necessarily commit to that situation. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I've struggled with understanding commitment because of like past relationships and my
Mm-hmm.
viewpoint as like, oh, I'm young, I'm working, I shouldn't have to deal with any of this, I should just ignore it. But at the same time, sometimes as a individual, you yearn for the affection of your opposite. Feel me?
Right. Right.
So how do I navigate that while also still being able to maintain and chase my career?
Well, the person that will first of all, the person that you will be with will understand your career and be okay with your career. That's the first and foremost. Second is that you may also have to pull back a bit because you can't do both. So if you're grinding 7 days a week streaming, that's not going to work. So you will definitely have to cut back a bit, or you'll have to alter your schedule to make sure you cultivate your relationship if that's the person you want to be committed to. And when you're ready to make that commitment, I mean, you may want to just, I'm gonna say start now, but you will have to decide in your mind that, okay, I'm ready to commit to that, and that means all the other extracurricular stuff that you may do on stream. You'll have to make sure that person knows all of that and you explain it very well, because some things may be taken out of context and how it's viewed. Because you know how it works.
Yeah.
A clip here that's
Out of
a full
context,
length
you said
a
something.
full length clip is spliced into a small the short bits, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't look right. So that would be, I mean, that's the stuff, and you'll just have to communicate openly about, okay, even to the point where, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what I'm going to talk about on stream. That's what it is. So she's clear of, what you will be talking about. And that's just more of a proactive thing. But, the first things first is that person, you have to find that person first, or that person. Once that person, and there may be somebody in mind too that you overlooked, and so you can go back and say, look, okay, I'm ready to commit now, and talk
So
about it.
I have situations where, and it happens a lot, even though everyone's always like, "Oh, I'll understand, I get it." You feel me? You do your content thing. Where I'll be doing my content thing, but they'll still be upset by that situation. Like for instance, I'll do something just for the career growth aspect of it, but because of that, they think it's part of who I am, and it's part of how I deal with them. How do you navigate a situation
Well,
like
they
that?
didn't know. They didn't know up
But I
front,
told
right?
them.
You told them
Like
up front.
I let it be known that hey, I might be doing certain things for content and it's just content, but they still can't get over the viewing it as content because they take it personal.
Well, you're not committed to them either, though. So that's they want to be committed, but they know you're not committed. So when you do stuff, that's why they get upset, because it's like, okay, is it am I really the one? He hasn't really come out and point blank said you are my person. And so yeah, of course they're going to react. And that means there's more, and so there's more than one. So of course, yeah, that's how they're going to react.
Okay, so then, for instance, if I haven't admitted that I'm committed to them, and but at the same time I still feel strongly about them as a person, I'm just not sure where I stand currently. What is something that I should do to appease them, but also not ruin my opportunity to continue growing as a person and content?
So let me get this straight. They're kind of the the young ladies are kind of around.
They're around, but they're not in the space fully.
Right. They're only in the space at certain hours.
Yeah, essentially,
Yes.
essentially, essentially.
Okay. There you go. So they've already given a piece of themselves to you, so to speak, and you know what I mean. So
Hmm.
they want to be more than that.
But
So
I don't necessarily think that they're ready to be more than that because of the way that they've responded to the things that I've done on content.
well, that's because they're competing.
Competing how?
They're competing for your time for one, and they're competing against the content that you're creating. Because in reality, like, right, we all watch TV, and we comment about you comment about stuff that's not necessarily true in the content, right? The content, you
Yeah.
react to stuff that's not necessarily true, but you assume it is, and that's why you're reacting. And it's the same, so it's the same thing. The person is reacting to the content because she believes it's real.
But what if you've already told them and they've already diagnosed that it
But
wasn't?
the thing is, the reason why because they're not, you haven't invested in them. So they're trying to get to the top, or they're trying to be the one, and they're not necessarily the one. So in their minds, they are competing against who they might think that person might possibly be the one. They don't know because they're not sure. And you haven't assured them either. So,
So how do you assure somebody, but also without
you
making it certain that you're committed or locked in that situation?
well, therein lies the issue. That's an issue. That's going to be an issue no matter what. So when you're ready, you just need to when you're ready to do that. This will be an ongoing problem until to that person is ready, to you're ready, and that person is ultimately ready to handle that you're a content creator.
Because I feel like the issue that I stumble across a lot of times is that they're always understanding. Like when they first start communicating with me, they're like, okay, I get it, you're a content creator. I get what that is. But once they've started to divulge into my interests and understanding who I am as a person and start catching feelings and becoming reliant on my mutual interest in them, they start getting upset at the things that I'm doing that I was doing before.
Right. That's going to be a normal thing, and like we may figure something out. But if it's something we could probably chat again at another time, because I think it's a little deeper. It may be something that you probably don't want to talk about. It may be a certain situation that we just can't discuss here. So yeah, you could send me a message, and I'll make sure I get it, and then I'll reach out to you.
Okay, for surely. I appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you for
Thanks,
taking
bro.
a moment to speak to me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
All right, man. Um, we got in a little early tonight on a question. So there are a couple people in. If they want, if it's 10:25, you have a couple quick ones. Then first you could drag them in if you're on. How you doing?
Yo,
You have
hello, Keith,
you have a quick
Mr.
question?
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
So, I'm doing really good today. How you been doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
All
You have
right.
what's your
I
question?
was scammed. Yes, I was scammed by a streamer named Yusuf On, and he won't pay me. What do you think I should do? Cause I've been calling him, and he only sent me $1, and it's like really bad. Cause I need that money, and he's just full on scammed me.
Um, do your parents know about this?
Mm-mm. I won a talent show. He's still not paying me my money, but he's going band for band with other people.
How did you win a talent show? Was it an online talent show?
Yeah.
Um, I think that's a tough one, because you did this online, so you could all you could try to recoup, but it may be a little difficult.
All right. Thanks
All
for the
right,
help.
all right,
I appreciate it.
all right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.